our Veterans Day here in the United States of America for those that have served our country an incredible way of sacrificing and potentially giving their lives, and many have given their life, right? I mean, Abraham Lincoln talking about the last true measure of devotion in the cause of our nation, right? And that is that gift of love that we give, the ultimate gift of love when somebody gives their life for this country. There's a mom that's dragging around her child tonight. My mother used to call it forced family fun. And there are these letters from high school students, and it's a 16-year-old girl who's, I guess, in an ROTC program, and she's talking about, I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I like this thing. And this thing that she doesn't realize yet is called service to nation. And people that sign up to wear the cloth of our country, right, the uniform of our country. We have some great military in here tonight, and we're going to promote one of them here in a little bit. Those who wear our uniform are not the only ones that have a duty and a responsibility to serve our country. Every single citizen in the United States of America has a duty and a responsibility to serve our nation. Everybody, when we get out there, we talk about voting, and we talk about going out and supporting your community in some capacity, whether it's in your churches, it's with your families, it's in some campaign, maybe it's in some other capacity in their small businesses that operate, and you try to get together in your communities. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir, and I know that the people in here, you get it. You support our veterans, you support different activities and different entities. But we have to do those. We have to spread our word out to the rest of this country, because we are in a time where this is not recoverable if we don't get every single American to stand up today, tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, this year, and over the coming year and serve. And how do you serve? You serve by getting up a little bit early. You serve by staying up a little bit later. You serve by going out there and seeking something to do with the God-given talent that you have been given. And that's for everybody. All of us have unique skills. All of us have unique talents. And what we have become is we've become very complacent here in the United States of America. And I don't mean to be counseling this group, because this is a body of people in here tonight in this beautiful building that gets it. You get it. But one of the things that we have to do is we've got to get out there. We've got to spread the word. And we have to talk to people and talk to those groups that we are a part of. Talk to those churches that we're a part of. Talk to those countries that we're a part of and say, look, if the United States of America, if we don't, in this country, if we don't stay around for another 250 years, right? If we can't hang around for another 5 or another 10 or another 20 or another 50, what I try to do is I try to see our country through the lens of my grandchildren. Okay, that's how I try to see the future, because I've studied our past. I've studied world history. I've studied U.S. history. I know what can happen to a country when it starts to think, well, nobody's going to mess with us, right? I know what that means. Most Americans do not, and particularly in the education system that we have today. But what we have to think about, when I think about particularly my granddaughter, so my granddaughter is at an age today where if she lives another 75 years, she still won't make it to the age of my mother. That's how old my mother was when she finally passed away. So she'll be not even the age of my mother by the turn of the next century. So in the next 75 years, never mind in the last 25 years what has already transpired in our country, where we've been to wars, we've been attacked, we've gone through all this crazy stuff, things that we never imagined we'd ever go through. I never did. I never imagined that our country would have these types of experiences. But what gives me hope is when I look through those eyes and I see the future, I know that when the American spirit is challenged, when the American people are challenged, they will always rise to the occasion. They might sit there and keep their hands in their pockets once in a while, but when you start to make the American people feel like something is about to be taken from them, trust me, do not get into that fight. Do not get into that fight. We are facing a time, and I'm not talking about the next year, although the next year, maybe the next 2 years, we could see a lot of turbulence, a lot of chaos, a lot more complexity. But as I look, again, sort of at least the next 75 years, and people go, what? What are we talking about? Because we're just here tonight to have a good time, and we're going to have, a great parade on Sunday. For those that are able to stick around for the parade, we'll have a lot of fun. But for a guy like me, I sit here and I contemplate and I look at things and I say, where do we want to be? And how do we get there? And how we get there is there have to be people that are amongst us that take very seriously what it is that we do. Okay? And so I want you to know that there are people, and there's some in this room, we take very seriously what we are going to do. Whether it's to take care of the children of this country, whether it's to strengthen our partnerships with those that are around the world that are willing to stand shoulder to shoulder with us and stand on the redoubts of freedom, right, to be able to protect the kinds of things that only the United States of America can do. And we can still do all these things. All the things that we have done from the very founding of this country, we can continue to do those, and we will. We will. Do not challenge the American spirit. Do not challenge the American soldier, for sure. Okay? And we have great, great leaders now, I think, in parts of our government, and every so often, it's like I say, every so often we've got to give them a little kick in the rear end, right? It's okay. It's okay to prod. It's okay to not just go and say, yes, yes, everything's wonderful, because it's not. Not all the time, right? What we have to do is we have to use the intellect that we have. We have to use the resources that we have. We have to use, these God-given talents and skills that we have, and we've got to engage. We've got to get involved. We've got to participate. We have a duty and a responsibility to serve this country. Every single citizen, not just those who have decided to wear the cloth of this country and serve in our armed forces. Not everybody has that in their DNA. Not everybody knows, that they don't want to do that, and that's okay. People tell me all the time, thank you for your service, and I'm humbled by that. Absolutely humbled by that. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, God, like they know, they get it, right? But what I try to do is turn that conversation around and say, so, thank you, but how are you serving? What are you doing to engage in your communities? And you start that conversation. And we all need to start having that conversation more and more. Because we know, everybody can feel it. I know it because I have thousands and thousands of conversations all the time with many Americans all over this country, and have for the last couple of years. And people have told me their fears, they have told me their concerns, they have told me their intimate feelings about some of the things going on around them. And I'm honored that they would be willing to do that for me. And what I try to do is to encourage them and give them a sense of uplifting and make them feel like we can do this. We can do this. And don't worry that you are not alone. You are not alone in this country. And this is about, not just hope and inspiration or the direction that we want to go or the vision that we need to seek. It's about service. And that's what veterans and being a veteran is all about. That's what being an American citizen is all about. Because we actually can serve this country. We can decide, you can choose, people can choose to do whatever they want to do still in this country. So choose service. Choose service. That's what I want you to do. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.